Hello everyone, this is Crota giving you a shoutcast between I think this is Stition and KHB. I'm not quite sure how to say his name. I'm sure he's a well-known Korean player and I just butchered the name and I apologize to him already. So we have Stition as a red Protoss player spawning over here at the what I'll call the 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock position of Metapolis. Meanwhile, we have KHB spawning over here at the 3 o'clock position as the Terran player. Looking at these builds right now, the orbital command station takes 50 build time, so it is going to be an earlier patch. Now, I wish I could figure out which patches are being built where, but I also heard that Blizzard is trying to test multiple patches at once. Oh wow, this particular spawning location has 9 mineral patches? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, how did it... Oh. No, 8. Okay, somehow I had clicked over one from earlier. Oh, I probably grabbed that one, and that's why I thought there was 9 mineral patches earlier in the games. Okay, that makes a little bit more sense. Nexus now building down a probe as well. So probe still going to probably get a single gateway. We'll see if Stition goes for a single gateway or a double gateway. Been looking a lot of replays and trying to figure out how to become better and how to become a better caster as well. Things to keep track of, things not to keep track of. And hopefully I do get better. KHB dropping down that barracks right now. That barracks, the build time is I believe 65 in this particular replay. So it is in fact 65. So it is now down to 60. The overall build time, it now shows that it is a little bit faster to build your first Reaper, but it is subsequently faster to try to mass Reapers. So your first Reaper to try to handle, try to protect your base and try to push off any Zealots or any Zerglings into your base. That Reaper is still good for defense, but trying to mass 3 to 4 Reapers is very, very difficult now. The Tech Lab also has been reduced in time. I think it was from 30 or it's down to 25 now. We're going to have a KHB come in, see the scout, and we're going to see a single gateway and a single assimilator. So I'm not 100% sure what those strategies mean at this point. Tech Labs take 30 and reactors take 40 at one point. So that was probably one of the weirdest things where the reactors were taking longer than the Tech Labs. So the reactors it was very difficult to mass units, especially against some Zerg players. I'll try to take out my bias right now. In terms of play, I'll just automatically assume that there's minor gameplay issues that Blizzard is trying to address, and nothing really big to address at this point in the game. Hopefully my hatred towards the other players or the other races won't really be coming through. Tech Lab now being built by KHB, lifting it off and going to that northern position, also getting that orbital cooldown or orbital command and getting that mule. So he's getting that mule around what is that, 12 SCVs. So perhaps that is the best time to get that mule. It will help open it up. And going for an early Ghost Academy. So very interesting, early Ghost Academy. We'll see how that really works out. Now we have a single Zealot or a single SCV trying to run away from a group of Zealots. Those Zealots desperately just trying to chase. It looks like that SCV is a little bit faster, in fact, than those Zealots. Those Zealots without charge, unable to catch up, but that poor SCV stopped getting shift-clicked. Now gonna go once again and get shift-clicked and try to run away, down to 12 hit points. So another round of attacks from that Zealot should be able to take it down. He's still trying to do some more scouting right now, and taking a look at this, and in comes that Zealot. The Zealot now trying to do some more micro robotics facility coming down, and now dual gateway, or still a single gateway, so not going to be able to macro that many units. Important to know how many gateways people really have. Second gateway finally being built, and now we have double barracks being built. We'll see if we're going to have a reactor core or triple barracks being built. So 2 barracks. We'll see if we're going to see a reactor core or another Tech Lab. That Tech Lab producing that first Ghost. That Ghost build time is 40. So I think he's trying to use EMP in terms of a hard counter towards the Protoss, being able to just do a single blast, pretty much reduce half of the hit points almost on a Zealot and half of the hit points on a Disruptor right there. Another side note as well, I think that in the original StarCraft, shields were weaker than hit points. So the original Zealot had 80/80, and then in a patch it was changed from 60 to 100, and that actually helped out because it made it stronger against sunken colonies, against siege tanks, because shields would always take full damage. This is not the case in StarCraft 2, or not the case that I've seen. Shields do not take there is no full damage anymore. There is not any of those base, like an explosive damage of 75. The full shields would take that damage. But right now, because it's more of a base damage plus a modifier, a siege tank does not get that additional 15 damage against the shields, because a siege tank gets a bonus damage towards armored units, and zealots are not in fact armored units. Still working on my but I just thought I should really point that out. Stition now moving around with that observer. That observer going to be flying into this base. He's going to quickly see two ghosts in there. The ghost can fire an EMP round at that observer and take it down relatively quickly, because EMP reveals cloaked units. Wow, triple barracks with tech labs. So very, very nice units there. Perhaps at this point, he probably would have rather had an academy, because triple barracks with tech labs makes it much more difficult in order to build, or in order to just try to position your base and your units right now. Currently also building a supply depot in this position. Orbital command consistently being used to call down. Both players pretty much playing in the dark. Stition has a single observer in the map, but that is pretty much it. No supply depot on that backside, and now we finally have Stition getting a nexus on that high ledge. A Colossus sitting in this mineral line, trying to protect that backside. We'll see how that's really going to work. And 30 units right there. Colossi just running around, I guess, kind of trying to do a little bit of a patrol right there. Colossi able to stack on top of units. I'm wondering if friendly units can run underneath it as well when they're trying to do attacks, and I'll try to make a better note of that. But here comes a large Marauder, Ghost, and Marine army. No Void Rays coming from Stition, so we'll see how this works. And here comes them trying to fight in. This Colossi on that high ground will be able to take down a lot of those Marauders, or those Marines fairly easily. Here comes a Disruptor as well. The Disruptor, the Sentry. Oh, nice EMP round. And the EMP round. Oh, okay, so I'll make a special note of that when the action cools down, and hopefully this replay finishes up. I'm going to go ahead and turn on the hit points a little bit. And it looks as though KHB is going to just be in the losing end of this attack right now. Continuing the fight, Colossi trying to fight back against those Marauders. Marauders quickly getting taken down. One Colossi left, down to 48 hit points, but should pretty much have full shields by the time it re-engages, as that shield regeneration is fairly high out of battle. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Yeah, so very, very high out of battle. Here comes those Stalkers and those Disruptors. That Ghost EMP round doesn't seem to be an all or nothing type of thing. It seems to be based upon how close you are to the center in terms of how much damage you took. That Colossus lost a lot of shields suddenly, and then didn't take any additional damage, so I'm thinking that was the EMP round that dealt that damage, but then, but it didn't lose all of it, so a little bit surprised by that. Here comes that Observer quickly getting shot down by that turret. Remember, turrets can in fact hit Colossi, so you really have to be careful when trying to push into a Terran base. Large amount of Marauders, no Reapers yet. Reapers would be a definite better counter towards those Zealots, but we'll see how those Zealots really pan out in this particular fight. 8 Zealots, 1 Stalker, Colossi, single Colossus, maximum shields once again. Stition trying to get that expansion set up, getting some pylons as well, perhaps for some cannons if we have a forge in play. Don't see a forge right now, so we have a robotic support bay, triple gateways, teching to warp gate. So warp gate tech has been researched, but has not been used yet. A pylon should probably be, a proxy pylon could have been built right here in order to try to have more reinforcements. Are these warping? No, these are still just training. Twilight Council getting that charge upgrade for those Zealots, so those Zealots will be able to approach those Marauders very, very quickly, and that's exactly what those Zealots need in order to try to take down those Marauders. Stay tuned for part 2 and the conclusion of this replay between KHB and Stition here on Metapolis.